Welcome back. I'm Francois, and I'm really excited because we are launching the Pro series of videos. These videos are dedicated to the installer. And today we're going to be taking a look at the PT5 and PT14 batteries. We're going to talk about troubleshooting them and tips and tricks to getting them up and running. So let's head back to the shop and take a look at these. All right, guys, we're in the back here with the PT14, our flagship battery, and we're just going to take a look at the few errors that some installers make when they're initializing or setting up the system. First one's really simple. There's actually a start and hold or start position on this. So that's the first thing you want to do, is that you don't want to just click it on, you'll see absolutely nothing happens. You want to make sure you're holding down on this start for about 3 seconds. You'll see everything light up. You'll see the logo on there, your voltage, your power, all that pops up, and then you're off to the races. Second thing I want to mention is that once you've got this thing wired up to your load, you've got it on now, the last step is going to be the breaker. So keep that for last. And what that does is it makes sure that the surge electricity is actually going through the breaker instead of the internal contactors. Because if you were to do that many, many times, you have a risk of actually welding that contactor shut. So that's just another tip there. Third thing we're going to look at is on this side here is the communication cable. So the comms cable here has 3 primary reasons for it. So the first one being it's a CAN bus line of communication to your external devices. So that means it'll actually talk back and forth with a bunch of different things. So that could be a charger, it could be an inverter, or it could be another load of some sort. So that's this black line here, and you can tap directly into that right here. The second portion of this is this blue wire you see here. And that's something that we've developed because of new regulations enforcing the fact that you need to be able to shut these batteries off internally in case of an emergency. So what you would do is you'd extend these lines out, go to say a big red button, emergency stop, somebody hits that button, it cuts that line, and therefore cuts off the power. And it's internal to this. Let me give a quick example on how that works. So if you see here, you got a system power 0.05 here. The minute I pull that cable, boom, you'll hear the relay inside click off. You've fully disconnected your power, and you're now in a safe position. The third and last thing that this comms cable allows us to do is actually to daisy chain batteries together. So say you had 3 of these, you'd actually get all 3 of them to talk to each other. And with that information, it would actually go out to, say, your Solarc inverter. So it's a really, really cool feature that we have built into this system. Last but not least, I want to talk about the Ethernet adapter here. So for, say, a Solarc, this comes with it, and it actually allows you to do a plug-and-play connection with that inverter so that all that data is automatically transmitted to your inverter. All right, so now that we have the setup process all ironed out, let's take a look at some common mistakes or some common troubleshooting that we can do. First things first, check your connectors. It's been many times that I've seen people just not have these inserted, or they're just not seated properly, so make sure you check those connectors. Second thing is the low voltage situation. So you may be getting into a place where, hey, you fully discharged your battery pack and it's now protected itself from damage and it's gone into a low voltage state. Easiest way to repair that or to get out of that low voltage state is to turn the system off, make sure you've got it plugged into a charger, whether it be solar or AC charger, and then just hit the start button, hold it in that start button for 10 seconds, and you can see that voltage climb right back up. If it's really in a low voltage state, in a really, really low voltage state, you might have to repeat that a couple of times, but usually after the second or third time, you'll be out of it and you'll be charging completely normally. Third thing I want to talk about is balancing, and I'm talking about multiple packs being together. So you got multiple PT14s or PT5s together, and you know what? You've got one that's just a couple volts higher, 2 or 3 volts higher than the others. What you're going to want to do is just get everybody on the same playing field by charging up the low voltage ones so that they're within 2 volts, then you'll be off the races. All right, the fourth point I want to make is the low temperature charging scenario. So this is really common. We have people go up to a 3-season place and everything's really cold and they want to turn the system back on. So first thing you want to make sure everything is off. Second thing you want to do, just turn the battery on. So super simple, turn it on. What that's going to do is initialize that internal heating system. It's all automatic. It'll start heating itself up. You can also assist this and speed up the process by just bringing it into a room that's actually warmer or heating the space around it. You can take a look at the display, switch it over to the temperature setting, and then you'll be able to see what temperature it is at. Once it gets above 0, then you can turn on the rest of the system and operate it normally. Fifth thing I want to talk about is speed of charging. So this actually has nothing to do with the battery itself. It has everything to do with the charger or the inverter that you plugged in. So just make sure that those settings are where you need it to be. And also remember that if you have multiple batteries, the amperage, the charging amperage gets split between those batteries as well. So they'll split evenly between them. The last point I want to make is with regards to checking those inverter settings. Make sure that that high voltage threshold, that low voltage threshold is whatever is set in the manual, whatever is stated in the manual for this battery. It's really, really important that those are in line with the specifications. So there you have it. I hope this has helped you out as an installer. If you are looking to become an installer and join our team, check out our website. Always go ahead and like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.